Okay, so we're going to create a new document, and then we're going to name it number 1 through 5, and then your last name, and then this is shape sheet. So that should be easy, and then hit OK. Okay, once you get in here, I'm going to show you how to create different documents within a document. So you're going to hit the plus button, and then you're going to create another part studio, and that's going to give you another tab. So instead of clustering one workspace, you can do each part on each workspace so that it's a little bit clearer. I think you have 5 parts, so let's do create part studio, make sure it's 5 parts. Okay, and then we're going to rename each one of these so that it matches the name on the shape. So this is number 1. Rename. So we're going to right click and rename it. So I'm just right clicking it and rename number 2. Enter. Click on this. Right click. Rename number 3. Right click. Rename number 4. I think if you double click it does it too. Let me see. Rename. Yep. Number 4. Oops. And then number 5. Okay, number 5. Okay. So I'm going to do number 1 first. On number 1, I'm just going to go through my thinking process. So the first thing I want to do is create the base for that. So I'm going to sketch, and I'm going to start from the bottom up. So from the top plane, select my sketch plane. And then I'm going to draw my base. So I calculate that, and it was, I believe, a 3. It was 3 by, so I'm going to use a line actually because the shape is a little bit different. So I know I'm going to click one here and then let go. Okay, let me undo that. My line didn't go through. So I'm going to click my line and I'm going to go here down to here. I believe this was supposed to be 3.5-ish. And I'll dimension it here in a little bit. So this is 3.5. And then over was 1 inch. So this is 1. I'm going to get as close as I can, and then I'll dimension it a little bit. And then upwards was, I believe it was, what was that? I have to look up the assignment again. Okay, over here, and then this was 0.5. I think it was longer than that, but 0.5, and then down, and then over. This was 1, and then up. It's about 3.5, yep, and then over to connect that. So I need. So what you're going to notice is it's not going to be perpendicular to each other, but we can change that. Okay, as you can see, my line right here and here is not a perpendicular, so 90 degrees. So I'm going to have to, there's a perpendicular button up here, perpendicular. So I'm going to click that, and then I want this to be perpendicular to this. So as you can see, it's going to straighten my line up, okay? Now I'm going to dimension it just to make sure everything is where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to take this dimension tool right here, and I'm going to first from here, this was supposed to be 3.5, so I'm going to change this, oops, to 3.5. I was thinking 3.5, okay. And this should also be 3.5. Yep. Okay, perfect. And then this right here was supposed to be, I believe, 1.5 5. Okay, it's going to make it go up, and then this right here, so I'm just clicking it, dragging it up. I'm going to move it out so you can see this was to be 0.5. And then this was supposed to be 1 as well, so I'm going to put 1 here, 1 inch. Okay, and since this and this are the same, okay, and if we move, change one to other, I think there's one that you can make the same, yeah, make it equal. So I'm going to make this part equal to this part. This part equal to this part. There you go. And then it changes that. And then now, to double check, this needs to be 2.5. So this right here needs to be 2.5. Yes, it is. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to extrude it up. So I'm done with my sketch, and I'm going to extrude, oops, not sketch again, X that out. I'm going to extrude it up. Don't need that sketch. Extrude this part up. And it says 1 inch, so I'm good, so 1 inch. Then let's check my shape. Okay, so I got the base part, and I'm going to build the part that's on top. So as I can see that it is going to be 1 inch across, so I'm going to sketch, and I'm going to actually draw on this part. So I'm going to hover over the plane of my shape. I'm going to draw on that, and I'm going to put a line on that plane. And it's about 1 inch down, so I'll measure it in a little bit, but for now I'm just gonna put from here to here, and then it's perpendicular because that little perpendicular line that shows, so I'm going to X that out. And then let's measure this to make sure it is 1 inch. Okay, so that's 1 inch, and it needs to go up about, let's see, 1 inch. Okay, so I'm going to extrude that going up 1. So extrude this part. So let's make sure I extrude. Okay, extrude 2. And I'm going to X this out and select my own face. So I'm going to extrude this part. It's going to go 1 inch. Check. Now let's just check to make sure it's right. Okay, so I got that part. So that's about 1 inch. And then we have those two 1 by 1.5. So I'm going to sketch on this plane right here. So that's the plane I'm sketching it on. And then I'm going to create a line. It's going to be 1/2 inch. I'm just going to put it perpendicular from here to here for now. Okay. There you go, a little perpendicular symbol shows up. X that out. Do another over here. Going down. Let's see, make sure it's perpendicular. Yep, the little, oops, that's not on there. Let me undo that. There you go, the line should light up. Okay, let's make sure it's perpendicular. And if it's not, you can go back and check. So like, for example, let's say I did this, right? It's not perpendicular, meaning that it doesn't create 90 degree. I'm going to go to perpendicular right here. I want this to be perpendicular to that line, and I'll switch it up. Same thing, this can be perpendicular to this line. Okay, so now I need to dimension this from here to here. Needs to be 0.5. 0.5 inches, and then from here to here should be also 0.5, so it's a little bit less than that. Okay, so now that they're both 0.5, I'm going to extrude them up 1/2 inch. And I'm actually going to extrude both of them at the same time. So you see how they're all highlighted? I'm only going to select the part that I want to highlight. So this will be my third extrude. So I'm going to X this out. I'm just going to extrude this part, and I'm going to extrude this part. And it's only ½ inch based on that picture over there, so 0.5. And then I'm going to hit check. Okay, so now let's check my shape. There we go.